Since late 2023, Gaza has been grappling with a crisis, a situation that has rapidly deteriorated into a humanitarian catastrophe of staggering proportions, one that continues to unfold with each passing day. The scale of suffering is immense. This is not just collateral damage, an unfortunate side effect of conflict. It's the systematic destruction of a society, a deliberate dismantling of the very fabric that holds a community together. With over 2 million people struggling daily, every moment is a fight for survival. The basics of human existence, food, water, shelter, and safety are now luxuries, desperately sought after but increasingly out of reach for so many. The sky, once a symbol of hope and freedom, now brings only fear, a constant reminder of the ever-present danger. The air is thick with the sounds of drones and the deafening roar of explosions. Hospitals, once sanctuaries of healing, now operate in ruins, struggling to provide even the most basic care. Doctors are forced to improvise, making impossible choices as medical supplies dwindle and run out completely. These are not just numbers on a page or statistics in a report. They are shattered families, torn apart by loss and displacement, their lives irrevocably altered. They are silenced children, robbed of their innocence and forced to witness horrors no child should ever see. They are dreams buried under rubble, hopes extinguished by the relentless violence. The world watches, often from a distance, documenting the unfolding tragedy. But for those trapped in Gaza, help feels distant, a faint glimmer on the horizon, and with each passing day, hope is fading, replaced by a gnawing sense of despair. International humanitarian law, the framework designed to protect civilians in times of conflict, is being tested to its breaking point. And the value of human life is being measured not in terms of inherent worth, but in bombs and blockades, in the currency of destruction and deprivation. This is a tragedy, a profound and ongoing crisis that demands not only our empathy, but also urgent and decisive action to alleviate the suffering and address the root causes of this crisis. The relentless conflict in Gaza has pushed the region to the brink of devastation. The death toll has soared into the tens of thousands since late 2023, a grim testament to the scale of destruction and loss. Each number represents a life cut short, a family torn apart, and a future extinguished. By mid-2025, the number of Palestinians killed had tragically surpassed 35,000. This staggering figure underscores the immense human cost of the ongoing crisis, a stark reminder of the urgent need for peace and stability. The weight of this loss is immeasurable. Most victims are civilians. Women and children make up more than 70% of the dead. These are the most vulnerable, the ones who deserve protection. Yet they are disproportionately affected by the violence. Their loss is a profound tragedy that reverberates through the entire community. Entire families are wiped out in an instant, homes reduced to rubble, memories buried beneath the debris, children orphaned, left to navigate a world without parents, and parents burying their own children, a pain no one should ever have to endure. The cycle of grief continues, leaving scars that may never fully heal. The UN calls Gaza a graveyard for children, a heartbreaking indictment of the situation. The destruction extends beyond physical structures. It reaches into the very fabric of society, as the future of an entire generation is erased. Schools lie in ruins, playgrounds are silent, and the dreams of countless children are shattered. Survivors face life-altering injuries, both physical and emotional. The healthcare system is stretched to its breaking point, with hospitals overwhelmed and amputations tragically common. Access to medical care is severely limited, leaving many without the treatment they desperately need. Many bodies remain lost beneath rubble, a constant reminder of the lives lost and the ongoing search for closure. Families are left without closure, grappling with the uncertainty and pain of not knowing the fate of their loved ones. The agony of waiting amplifies the trauma and prolongs the suffering. The psychological scars run deep, affecting not only those who have directly experienced the violence, but also the wider community. Trauma is haunting every survivor, a constant companion that shapes their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The need for mental health support is immense, yet resources are scarce. Gaza's healthcare system is collapsing, unable to cope with the sheer scale of the crisis. The lack of essential medical supplies and the overwhelming number of patients make it impossible to adequately treat the wounded or sick. The consequences are devastating. The true cost of this war is measured in broken bodies, shattered minds, and a lost future. A future that has been stolen from the children of Gaza. This is a collective trauma from which recovery may never come, a wound that will continue to bleed for generations to come. The road to healing will be long and arduous, requiring sustained support and unwavering commitment. Gaza's high civilian death toll is a direct result of heavy weaponry used in densely populated neighborhoods. Massive bombs flatten entire apartment blocks, leaving families with nowhere to hide. Safe zones have proven unreliable, and warnings often come too late for the vulnerable to escape. Homes, schools and hospitals protected by international law have become battlegrounds. Essential infrastructure like water, power and bakeries lies in ruins, compounding the suffering. Human rights groups warn these indiscriminate attacks may constitute war crimes. The result, a civilian population living in constant terror with daily life reduced to survival. Amidst the relentless bombardment, Gaza is grappling with a severe man-made famine, a crisis of unimaginable proportions. A crippling blockade has choked off the supply of essential food, clean water, life-saving medicine, and desperately needed fuel. The very essentials for survival are dwindling. Humanitarian aid trickles in, a mere drop in the ocean of need, but it's tragically nowhere near enough to sustain the population. In a desperate attempt to quell their hunger, families are forced to eat grass and even animal feed just to survive another day. As a result, malnutrition and disease are rampant, spreading rapidly through the weakened population, with innocent children tragically dying from starvation and severe dehydration. Desperate crowds, driven to the edge, risk their lives, clamoring for a single bag of flour, and are sometimes tragically killed in chaotic stampedes or even by the horror of gunfire. The blockade is not merely a consequence of war, but an active policy, deliberately turning Gaza into a cage, trapping its inhabitants, where innocent people are not only bombed but also deliberately starved. Humanitarian organizations urgently warn that the entire population now faces acute and life-threatening food insecurity. This cruel siege is being wielded as a weapon of war, unjustly punishing ordinary people for a conflict that is tragically beyond their control. The world has condemned Gaza's suffering, but political divisions stall meaningful action. The UN and human rights groups document possible war crimes and call for accountability. The International Court of Justice has ordered Israel to prevent genocide and allow aid in. Arrest warrants for leaders on both sides are being sought for alleged war crimes. These legal efforts underscore that no one is above the law when it comes to protecting civilians. Behind the headlines are real people. Families shattered, lives destroyed. An immediate ceasefire is a humanitarian imperative, not a political concession. The people of Gaza deserve more than survival. They deserve peace and dignity.